And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Sagittarius! Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're looking at in this round of reads is going to be your career read for the month of November. So in a career read, looking at opportunities, ventures, potential partnerships, things that we provide not only our labor to, but hope to see growth out of. So as a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even when it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm never going to purposely try to misguide you. That's not why I do this. Trust me, it really isn't. And I know it can be tough, but hey, that's why I'm here to do the reading with you. Let's turn it into more of a conversation. So follow along and read today, Sag, your career read of the month of November. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. So the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in this read. We're going to do a time-based orientation for starting with the past. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Sag in this read today? Ooh, very crisp and very clean. Let's see. In your past? Lovers, the card of Gemini. I like that. Okay, starting off strong. How so? Two of Pentacles. The idea that we can make things balance out. Temperance, you, card Sagittarius. And in finding this path, we find ourselves. That is such a beautiful and poetic statement. Here's why I'm saying that, Sag. First, you pull the Lovers. In the career read, it represents that what I am doing, it provides me fulfillment, right? Whatever choice that we made, whatever thing that we started on, even if it ultimately, isn't exactly what we thought it was, is something worth fighting for. It is a choice I actively make, and it actively chooses me back. So the Two of Pentacles is helping me juggle and make things balance out. Doesn't mean we achieve perfect harmony, not really. The Two of Pentacles is a state of perpetual motion. That means it's a state of action, right? Will it provide absolute balance? That's not really the point here. The point is that as we finally feel like we can breathe, we can put what is important to us right center stage. We also say we can find ourselves. And that is the most important thing right now, not the other stuff. The other stuff can wait. Okay? In the present, shows the cards that we need to see, please, in the present orientation for Sagittarius. That's really great. I'm glad that you got something that absolutely fulfills you, but also revitalizes your purpose. It's really good. So the present orientation for Sagittarius in their read. Show us the cards that we need to see. I'm not gonna say I'm getting a little bit snappy with the gum. I don't know if that comes across on the camera. I'm like, ooh, is it showing that I got attitude? We'll see. I'll see on the edits. Okay. So in your present, Sag, here's what we see. Ace of Swords. Okay, I found my truth. And like I said, once you have an opening that strong that reveals, hey, I'm in the right place, right person, right place, right time, all the time. Yeah, that's me. I know something that I'm not backing down from anymore. What is that? Seven of Swords. Okay. And what couples that Seven of Swords? Define that for me. Okay, Page of Swords. Everything I thought I figured out, I had to learn again. The thing is, Don Henley and the Eagles, just so you know, if you didn't know the reference. Seven of Swords with the Ace of Swords. We got two truths battling. One, no, this is the right thing for me. The other, okay, where are we meandering? Where do I not find things adding up? I think that we put too much weight into this has to be absolutely perfect, that we're starting to see ourselves as flawed or faulty because we wanted this so much, right? Page of Swords. Let's step back and we observe, right? The sword in the hands of the page means that that page does not know how to wield the sword yet, right? The pages are essentially the kids of tarot, and the Page of Swords are considered one of the most unexperienced ones because they had to learn the art of swordplay, right? A king, a knight, even the queen, right? They have training, they have a lived experience. They've, met different people with different capabilities who taught them different things. The page is very much, hey, this is too heavy. It could be dangerous in the wrong hands, right? Now having your ace of swords upon that page of swords, you're trying not to be hasty. Right. You have your truth. This did provide some level of fulfillment in the past. We're not going to debate that. That is 100% accurate. The thing is, the things that you're finding, dissatisfaction with in your current predicament, we have to sit there and try to piece together what's going on. Because it's not absolutely, this is all my fault. This was never meant to be, et cetera, et cetera. That's just, kind of self-destructive behavior. And so you're trying to temper yourself. Temperance, right? We're trying to temper ourselves in our, anger and frustration regarding the issue and say, okay, is this just me saying that this space is no longer for me? Or am I able to define point by point with crystal clear clarity that, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. This helped me find me. It had a purpose for what it's worth at that time. Now that things might have changed slightly in the present, what are we doing with that? Because we can't just be a passive player the entire time. We actually got to challenge ourselves to make those definitions and find those key points that we've been talking about. Okay? So for the future orientation, what are the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in their read? What is held in the future orientation for Sag in their read today? Good. In the future, the moon. Good. I actually see that as good. There are things that we do not yet know or not yet understand. Now, do I want that to be your perpetual state of operation? No, but it does serve its purpose, right? If we're saying that there are things in the far distance we have not understood yet, then that becomes a question of how we discern our reality of the present. Let's hold off on that one. The Fool. There we go. Okay. You don't need to hold off so much. The power of new beginnings. What are we aiming for? What can we strive for? Even if it seems so outlandish that, hey, it requires a level of Delulu level faith. Nine of Pentacles, our freedom. Our freedom is actually wrapped into the unknown. And so, Sag, what I see so far in your future orientation, it says you got to be comfortable with the things that you don't yet know, but be very comfortable with the things that you do. Right? The moon is there for a purpose. And it says there's so much yet to learn, so much yet to unearth that, while we chose this in the past, let that just be one part of that journey. Yes, it was very fulfilling. And you found peace, you found solace, you found a career, you found all these different things. Let that be one part of that journey. But for the rest, for the things that seem kind of up and down or that we haven't figured out yet, that's our job. Let's own our stuff. So for the things that we have not that we're trying to properly figure out how to wade through, that moon comes out. There are things that honestly are out of your control, but more than being out of your control, you just haven't seen it yet. Take the leap anyways. You were in this path for a reason. Now, if it brings your autonomy and your freedom, the Nine of Pentacles, the keys to your own garden, here, your own feast, then that new beginning, maybe this was just one chapter in that journey. Whether you stay, whether you go, see the value. You have to see the value and learn the lesson. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck there in rigidity, not being able to move at all. Underneath it all, King of Swords. And like I said, the more experienced person wielding a sword, we can make the right decisions. We can do the right thing. And we can swing for our own victory once we can establish what side of the fence that we're on. Let's look at the in-between space now. Show the cards of connection. What is held in space of connection, the bridging gap between all time-based orientations in this read? Well, that's at the table, so let's see. Hold those out. I guess let's see one more for Sag in their read. What is held between the past and the present? Between the what was and what is for Sagittarius in their read today. That is a break. What is held between the past and present orientation for Sagittarius and the read? Because those two just wanted to come out. Trust me, I tried to catch them. If anybody has seen my videos before, you would know that unless it hits the table, I do not take. So, starting with this. Seven of Swords, yeah. We have to wade through the lies and the BS. Yes, this was so fulfilling for us. What other things have we not yet touched? That's the challenge that we're having in our present, right? So beyond being a good choice, and it was a great choice for you, Sag, so let's be abundantly clear about that. What are the stuff we have not yet touched or dealt with? That is a challenge right now. Seven of Wands, we are defensive towards touching anything. Why? Why is this coming up? Hangman. Oh, okay. So, don't take that as a bad thing. I try not to be too bad in my expressions, but you have to understand what's going on here. We saw this as such a good opportunity in the past that we didn't want to have any critical analysis of it at all because we felt like we were kind of ungrateful for it. That Seven of Wands being, that Seven of Swords being, okay, there's something here that I'm actively not addressing that's coming up in my present because, again, this is just between the past and present, right? There's something going on right now that is tied to what I refuse to address in the past, and I think I'm keep being guarded of it because I don't want to come off as ungrateful. The thing is that, we're not going to pretend that we see that. We're just going to be happy and we're going to be grateful. It doesn't show a level of disgratitude or dissatisfaction. It actually puts you to a state of needed observance, the hangman, right? That you turn your gaze upside down, inside out, whatever you want to call it, to say, hey, what do I actually need to look at here? In your present, you're actually being pushed to do that. Because again, we talked about all these swords in your present addressing that Seven of Swords issue. It didn't go away, it just amplified. And so I don't think it's necessarily ungrateful to be analytical. Not at all. In fact, it shows how much you cared about the opportunity that you wanted in the first place. You have to trust your voice of what's going on, what you say is going right, and also what you say is going wrong. That's what we're trying to pick apart here. Between the present and the future. So the cards that we need to see, please. Between the present and future orientation for Sagittarius and the read today. Okay. The Ten of Pentacles, foundation of life, where we are right now, where we are moving forward. Hey, I know we talked about the moon earlier, so just rewind to that part if you needed to, but our ability to address what we refused to address before, the past going to the present, that it doesn't always have to be perfect and doesn't make me ungrateful for having analytical skills to understand what's going on here. That'll actually lead you to exactly where you need to be. There are things you have not yet understood about the situation that you have to take the efforts and time to understand. It just is what it is. Nine of Cups, the notion of self-fulfillment. That, again, you can weigh the duality of those emotions. You can be both fulfilled by the opportunity that came and also being able to be critical. Okay, I like this, I don't like this. If I was to pursue my boss's job, what would I do differently? If I was to embark on my own path, how would I create all of that? Or what would the steps be? You have it within you right now, Sag. You're getting very close to it. But it's all about addressing that Seven of Swords. How do we combat what is not immediately addressed or made available? Queen of Cups, through the power of love. Here, the endearment to show the best of ourselves in the work that we do. If it's an artistic expression, let our wings flourish. Do whatever you need to, but between where you are and where you're going, you'll get there. Sometimes it is that simple, but in order to get there, we must first start addressing all the things that we don't like. We have to vocalize that. We have to say it out loud. If not to the people around us, at least to ourselves. Sit with the tough stuff right now. We'll be able to deal with it. Underneath it all, the Wheel of Fortune, that everything does in fact change with time. Yeah, it's going to take some time to address all this. But right now, the biggest thing is to say, okay, if I am unhappy, A, it does not make me ungrateful, but B, what can I do to pinpoint exactly what gives me anxiety and discontentment about everything going on? I need to be honest about the things that I've been trying to push off. Okay? Define the major arcana strewn across the table for Sagittarius in their career read. Define these major arcana. We first start with the Lovers, since that was the first card that you pulled, Sag. What about this was such a great opportunity? The path we were never back down from. Show us the cards we need to see, please. Define the Lovers in this read. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. In the hope that everything can indeed change with time. A repeated message. To you, Temperance, card Sagittarius, Three of Swords. That's what's going on here. Got it. So, of all the brokenness and everything we felt we couldn't go right for ourselves in the past, we're saying this is such a great opportunity that we're going to overlook all the bad things, right? So we weren't coming from the best of space when we got this opportunity, but that's also equally a limiting factor because we're almost like shaming ourselves for being able to call a spade on some things we know is going wrong. That's the easiest way I can put it, Sag. And while, yes, we may not be coming from the best space, and this seems like, our saving grace, whatever that I should be totally grateful for, two things can be true at once. We can say, hey, I understand what's going on here, and I love the opportunity presented to me, and simultaneously, I can see the imperfections. I can see the things I want to fix. It does not make you ungrateful for wanting better, wanting more. Next to the Moon, 10 of Wands, the burden of the unknown. Can we sit with that? Can we deal with that? Can we? That's not even, rhetoric or mysticism here, Sag. This is my question for you. Can you sit with being okay with the things that you may not even understand right now? Because there's going to be a lot of questions coming up in the future if you want to continue this pathway. It's not bad. There's definitely good questions because you've had no questions about your field. You're either a complete master or you're completely dissatisfied. That's spelled out all across your read. Next to the Fool, the Four of Cups. And so it's space beyond discontentment. Here, the new beginning, once we can discern and identify, this is exactly what keeps me dissatisfied. This is what I'm aiming for. This is what it is. I can finally do the right thing. And that's in your future. Right now, again, we're battling so many Seven of Swords here. Next to the Hangman, Nine of Wands. Our burden is to be actively observant, to understand what's going on, and not simply, give up, pack our stuff, and leave, but understand, hey, this can be a great opportunity, and there are some things I'd like to fix here. Both can be true at once. Let's get a crossing pattern. So the Two of Wands, as we deal with our intentionality regarding our current circumstance. Eight of Cups, battling the notion of walking away. Okay, and why I would say that Eight of Cups, I'm going to get something to drink after this because we're almost at the end of the read, Sag. The reason why we feel this impulsivity of walking away ties back to that Three of Swords where we originally were in the past. We were not in the best of spaces. And so we feel that any criticism is almost like bad luck rather than a natural progression of somebody who is more equipped in their field, right? The notion of, okay, this is what intent is, this is how we move properly. Do I have to walk away from this? Is it giving me all the, terrible everything I was going through right then at that stage? Will it all repeat itself again? Well, it doesn't have to. But you gotta be brave enough to say, hey, this ain't going right here. How can I fix it? This is not what I want. How do I do it better? If not here, then okay, elsewhere. What would be an intentional plan on my behalf? When I say I have stakes in the game, that's when it gets dicey, but that's also where it gets interesting. Yeah. So let's look towards resolution. What is held in the space of resolution for Sagittarius and their career read today? The real cards of resolution for Sag in their career. Resolution, Page of Wands. Don't forget your optimism. Don't forget the things that drove you to this path and why you felt it was a good choice in the first place. Don't ever forget. Do the right thing. It will play out. King of Swords. Where did that come up? And you're underneath. Your resolution, okay, we're going to deal with the tough things. And it doesn't make me ungrateful. It doesn't make me, disrespectful. It means I'm actually good enough with what I do to be able to have a critique. See how we flip that perspective underneath it all? Devil, the card of Capricorn. That's the deeper struggle here. Got it. With the devil popping out here, I see that more as, again, that internal struggle you're having of, if I say anything bad, everything will fall apart. And until we're brave enough to address that, because that's mainly coming from that Three of Swords space, to be totally honest with you, Sag, everything else is why that's developing. Until we're able to call a spade, to sit down with ourselves and whatever the situation is, could be an artistic endeavor, could be, an expansion of our career or being under a boss if we really don't like, X number of situations, your story the best. That devil is popping out because your situation isn't changing because we're not calling a spade. The devil is one of the most brutally honest cards in the tarot deck. It's just honest about the things we do not like about ourselves. And also, because we understand that everything's changing with time, the devil is saying, hey, your obstacle right now is your inability to say what you actually need, right? That Seven of Swords came out in your transitional period. The Seven of Swords is here right now. What are we doing with it, right? It doesn't automatically mean we have to pack everything and run, because that's reverting back to the Three of Swords, that heartbreak, that mourning space that we don't want to go through again. We actually did a lot of growth. But the thing is, if we're not brave enough to say, actually, here's my opinion, here's the blueprint, here's what I want for me, and even if you guys don't respect me here or don't value my plan or intention, okay, what have I done right for me? Can you just transfer somewhere else? You gotta make these decisions for yourself, Sag. But right now, we're sitting with the difficulty of, if I say it out loud, you think it's almost like, a plan of self-destruction of how you're framing it, of if I come off as ungrateful, everything will fall apart. And if we're operating from that space of like desperation, we'll only get more and more anxiety from desperation. We won't be able to go to where we want to if we keep on saying, no, everything's fine. It's not. And hey, that's okay. So here's what I have in your read today, Sag. Overall, you got something that you wanted in the past, even if it wasn't at the best space at the time. And now your current challenge is, now that you acclimated to your job, your position, or whatever venture you went on, hey, what do I do that I like and what do I do that I dislike? What can be done better? What can be done on my terms? You're actually having to have a level of introspection that is uncomfortable because, again, like I said repeatedly, it's making you think that you're ungrateful when in fact it's pointing out the fact of you gained so much expertise in this field. In the future, can we be okay with being uncomfortable? Or will we revert back to these old patterns of dissatisfaction? That is up to you and the decisions that we make right now. But overall, can things change with time? Absolutely. Will they? That depends on the choices that we make. So that's all I have in your read today, Sag. Hope this conversation helps. And yeah, I believe in you because you believed in yourself at one point. I need you to believe in more of you again. Let's see how that plays out. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.